Today, we will be building arguably the best XP farm in Minecraft Bedrock. The Armadillo XP farm is simple, cheap, and can be modularized. This farm uses tipped arrows to kill silverfish that are spawned by splashing armadillos with infested potions. Given that the future update will reduce trident drops on Bedrock and allow you to craft name tags, an important part of this farm has the best and least laggy kill method. Alright, to get into this video, let's first look at the resources needed. If you need to pause now, I would suggest pausing to look. I would suggest only modularizing it if multiple people need to use it at once, or if you have multiple users or one is online. If you were to modularize it, you would need a duplicate of every item in the top section except for really the name tag and the bow. Everything else is pretty important. Of course, the tipped arrows require you to go to a nether fortress to get potions, and spider eyes I suggest going to a trial chamber to get, which I found the easiest method. Alright, let's begin this tutorial. What we're going to start doing is by placing a 3x3 ring of soul sand with the middle block cut out, where you place your solid block there, and then placing three stone or any solid block on each side of the soul sand ring. From there, you're going to build a 2-block glass wall on all of the stone blocks except for that middle one. And what you're going to want to do is place a stone on top of this middle stone, and then a sand, and then a cactus, and then another composter on top of that in that kind of 4-block tall pillar. Then you're going to fill that rest of that area up to the glass height with water. That's where you're going to bobble the arrows to kill the armadillos. Alright, the next thing you want to do is find any corner and place 2 solid blocks in it and make a 2x2x2 cube like that, and use your ladder to build a way to get up. In that corner, you're going to take your glass and kind of go around it again just to make one higher. This will be important later when you go to shoot your arrows. Alright, the next step you're going to want to do is go to the outside and go to the any side that you want and break the glass out quickly to place the ladder to get up to the top. That'll be important for later, especially when we start building higher. But for now, go back down to your kill platform and place the glass and panes in this formation so that whenever you're using the farm, you could squeeze yourself into that corner. And then go back up top, and the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab some bows and some instant harming 2 arrows. Now the instant harming 2 arrows, it is important to know that whoever shoots the arrows, they must be in line for the farm to produce XP, which is why it might be important to modularize it so that multiple people can have ownership over the arrows. Do not try shooting multiple arrows, like multiple people shooting arrows. That doesn't work either. But yeah, let's get into how you're going to do this. So what we're going to do is you're going to crouch and push yourself all the way to the edge over one of the soul sand blocks. Now when you're shooting, you don't want to pull it fully back like I did there. You want to kind of tap it, just barely tap it to the lowest power level. So yeah, stare straight down into the water while crouching all the way out to the side, and tap it into the water, and it should bobble back up and make that little splashing effect on the top. You're going to want to do this on all 8 water blocks around the farm in order to maximize your kill potential, or else silverfish might just sit in the water and never despawn. Now, once you have all 8 arrows in, I would suggest building the platform up 1 more level, like so. And the next thing you're going to do is I would grab a filler block of your choice. I'm going to use dirt, and I would just block that off, because if you ever fall in there, the arrow's going to go away, and it's just really annoying to reshoot. So just block that off for now. That part of the farm is done. The next thing you're going to want to do is go and place that level up 1 more block of glass, that glass wall up 1 more block, and then another block again. Except what you're going to want to do is leave 1 wall blank. You're going to want to leave 1 wall open, because that's where you're going to have your armadillos come in. And then take your filler block again, and on opposite of that wall, place that 3-block pillar, and then 2 blocks adjacent to that on the opposite side of the composter, and then you could fill in that glass. I would suggest placing a ladder, or as I did, just breaking one of the glass so you can easily get out, because you'll need to a lot when you're moving axolotls into the farm. From there, you're going to want to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks out, and then 1, 2 blocks to the left, and then make a 3x3 platform in that corner. From there, that's where you're going to store your axolotls, and then build just an efficient 2-block tall wall around it in whatever way you see fit. I would suggest doing it this way because it's most block efficient. But yeah, you're going to build this 3-block wall, this 6 block on each side to block the axolotls. So yeah, you're going to build this 3-block wall. Actually, you're going to want to build this out of the corner, so like what I'm doing here, so that you can kind of, it'll make sense later, but yeah, just build the pathway 1 block to the right. It doesn't really matter where it goes, as long as the pathway connecting the farm is in the corner and you're placing rails on top of it like that. You want to make sure that the farm has that corner block missing right there and a rail in there, so you could use minecarts to get out the armadillos. Now, to get the armadillos up into the pit, I would build out of a temporary block like dirt a little staircase from the ground level to the pit. Of course, armadillos spawn in acacia biomes. My suggestion is using happy gas and boats to transport them. But if you're just living in an acacia or building this in acacia, just find any armadillos and use spider eyes to attract them to you, and kind of just slowly walk them up your makeshift staircase until you get at least 2 into the little basket we just made to start breeding. Alright, the next thing you're going to want to do is place a ladder in one of the corners, and you can just start using the spider eyes to breed them. That dirt staircase is really no longer necessary anymore, but yeah, every minute you could breed the axolotls up, not the axolotls, the armadillos, until you have enough. I would suggest at least 6 to 8 armadillos to get a good working XP farm. Okay, while we're waiting for our axolotls to breed, we're going to do a zombie enclosure to keep the axolotls in scared mode. So build 3 blocks up with a dirt or any filler block, actually 2 blocks up, and make sure the top block is in line with the composter, and build a T on the side of the glass, and then on each side 2 blocks up with glass, and then 1 block of stone on top to hold your guy. And then you're going to want to place a trapdoor on that fall block and 3 blocks on each side, and that'll just make sure that the zombie can get in, and then just build a staircase out of any filler block so the zombie can get up. Once it turns nighttime, just attract any zombie over. Make sure you have your name tag ready with whatever name you want to use. Now the name tags will be craftable, this will be easier, but yeah, just let the zombie fall in, name tag him, there we go. You can break that trapdoor now, which make sure he's not jumping once you do so, and then place that solid block on top of him to trap him in. He will never die now. Alright, the next thing you should do is, once you have all the armadillos, place water in the corner opposite of where the rail is, and then it should push the armadillos into that corner, and every time you place a minecart, they'll just come out. Reminder, make sure the babies are not used, because the babies will die every single time you try to put it in. And make sure not to touch the minecarts either, or it will knock it off. I'm just killing them. I don't suggest killing them if you have a lot, but I have a lot, so I am okay with killing them. Again, animal cruelty is not good. But yeah, once you have all your adult armadillos ready, just let them flow into the corner, place the minecarts, and they should just drop onto that side. Dang it did not work. It is a little finicky. I would suggest giving it power and just letting it ride it out. And then, oh, again, it did not work. That's alright. You can also use these kind of blocks to make sure that they don't fall to the side and they'll stay straight no matter when you push them. Yeah, if you give it enough power, it should just fall in. And even more power, and it just falls in. And you just go on here. You can use 2 or 3 minecarts. I suggest to do this quicker, but you just break them and they'll fall in. You see, they immediately go into scared mode because they sense the zombie there, and the cactus will be taking damage, but they'll never die because they're in that ball formation. That's how this farm really works to best get XP. Yeah, I would suggest around 6. I think I'm using 7 for this farm, and it gets me about 80 levels in 2-3 minutes, which is pretty good if you mind me. Of course, I empty them here, but I would suggest after just removing the water, removing the ladder, and then leaving 2 armadillos so you can fully maximize it later. If it's single player, you can add really as many as your device can handle. But yeah, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna place an 8x8 ring 2 blocks above, with 2 blocks of air between the composter and in the center the dispenser pointing down as such. That is what's going to splash the infested potions later. And then choose whichever side you want and break it and place a hopper facing into the dispenser. From here, the dirt really isn't needed because this area is going to be open anyway. Don't worry if dirt falls into there, it'll despawn. It won't harm the farm at all. And then close up this capsule. On top of the hopper, you're going to place a chest where you will put all of your potions in. Then place out of the dispenser 3 lines of redstone. I realize now that I placed the ladder on the wrong side, so sorry about that, but just block that up with glass. And then on the side that the chest is on, I would suggest doing it in the exact same order I'm doing it. Place the stone again, and then place ladders going up so you can access that top chest. And then on the side where your ladder is, on the opposite side from the ladder, 4 blocks up, you're going to place a stone block, and then I would place a button, and then the redstone torch on top, and then another stone, and then a redstone torch, then another stone, and then actually break that torch. On the side of the second block, place a torch, then place a torch, a block above it, and a torch in this pattern. This is the correct pattern. Then place a torch on top of that, and this is kind of how it should look. And every time you hit the button, it will activate the dispenser. And then on the side, you could press it there. That's a little awkward, so I suggest putting the button there instead. You can have it on both. Either way works, whichever you prefer. I suggest both, just as convenience to everybody. And then whenever you're ready, just use that farm and press the button. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to brew the potions. First thing you're going to do, obviously, you'll need blaze powder for power. And then put 3 water bottles in and a nether wart in order to activate the potion. You're also going to need a stone as the next ingredient to turn it into an infested potion. Alright, yep, put in that stone. Remember, every potion takes 10 seconds. There's really no need to automate this potion process. It's pretty quick and easy, and 3 potions last you 10 minutes. I would suggest only using a few at a time, because the more XP levels you have, the more XP goes into each level, and it becomes just an inconvenience. And then after you put in the stone, you put in the gunpowder. The gunpowder will turn into splash potion, which is what you need to use to splash the armadillos. And once your potions are done, you could take whatever infested potions you have, which should be the 3-minute splash potions of infestation, and put them in your chest. That'll flow directly into the dispenser, where you can then go down to the drop platform by taking the ladder so you don't take any damage, and hitting the button and sitting in the corner. And as you see, you start picking up the XP, you don't touch the arrows, and of course it is less laggy because the armadillos are immediately dying. I can't promise no lag, there will be some frame drop, but as you see, after about 3 minutes of using this farm, I went from level 0 to level 80. It's a pretty good farm for 3 minutes. Now this farm, of course, is pretty simple to build, as you see, but it can only really be used if one person is online. If you wanted to modularize it, this is how I go about doing it, is putting the zombie in a separate platform with 1 block between it, and then with 1 block in between each of the modules, I would just build each of the 3 modules again. Of course, you'll have the armadillo foundation there, but yeah, this is what the foundation will look like, and build it up. And I kind of just made sure that it was kind of symmetrical on each side. Of course, you don't need to do that. You do whatever way you want, but yeah, that's kind of how I did it. Make sure you build all the spawn platforms, and if you have multiple teammates, this can be built with up to 4 per module, or up to 4 people throwing arrows per section for each zombie. But I would not recommend having multiple running at once. This is really just to make sure that if the official builder wasn't online, someone else could use the farm so they can each have their own module. Oops. But yeah, and I will cut back to when this is all finished. Alright, and now that this is all finished, this is what the finished product of the 4 modules should look like. As you see, each one is a completed version of the first one, and I moved the armadillo enclosure to the middle so that it's easier accessible to all 4 farms for transporting armadillos. Of course, every single one is the same. Mine right now, I did not throw arrows as a time constraint, but of course, when you do, you should throw arrows, and each individual person should throw arrows. And you can also just name which one is yours, because it could be easy to forget. Yes, the armadillos go in the middle, and they can be moved later. That really is the farm. That's all that I have today. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed and hope this farm works for you. If there's any updates that need to be changed or anything that could be improved, let me know in the comments below. Of course, I do want to start making more tutorial videos. So I know I have ideas for gold farms and trading halls and melon farms and iron farms that I want to make videos on that I have better methods of doing. So if you guys would like to see those videos come out, I want to see some support on this video, and some support in the comments saying y'all want that. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody, and bye-bye.